This is part 2 of our Psycho-Cybernetics breakdown. In the last episode, we covered how your self-image shapes your reality, the power of mental rehearsal, and more. Now today, we're diving into 5 more powerful takeaways to help you master your mind. Let's get into this. Yes, people, this is your girl Aleisha Lee, and welcome back to another episode of Motivational Lee. We're going to kick off with our next takeaway, which is failure is just feedback. Most of us fear failure, but Dr. Maltz says failure is just feedback. Your brain is a problem-solving machine that learns from mistakes. So instead of beating yourself up, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? I always say, this is a common saying that I've used. I've even mentioned it in a song. You never lose, you win or learn. And that's really how you have to look at life. It's not a game of whether you're winning or losing. It's a matter of learning. You're always either going to win or you're going to learn a lesson from it. Either way, it's still a win, no matter how you look at it. A lot of us, including myself, we do have this fear of failure. You want to make sure that you present as perfect as possible. You want to make sure that people see you in the best light, but that isn't always the case. You're always going to find yourself in situations where you might not hit the standard that you want to, but through that, you're going to learn valuable lessons that will help you get to the point that you want to be. So the next time you go through that, you're going to succeed. I think sometimes, especially in this day and age, we expect to go for things and get it done straight away, but that's not always the case. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes it can happen for you. You go for something straight away, and the first time you do it, it's like, think of it like your driving test. Some of us have been really lucky to just go through it one time and pass the test, while some of us have had to go through that more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times, but eventually you will succeed. It's only at the point of you giving up that you're not going to give yourself that chance to succeed. But if you continue to try, get up, keep going, go again, you will eventually get there. So this week's challenge is to reframe one failure as a learning experience. Think about your past failures. Think of what you've gone through previously and what you may have perceived as a failure. Do you now perceive that as a lesson learned? Do you see that as something that you did have to go through in order for you to learn that lesson? Let me know your thoughts down below. Stop letting the past define you. Your past doesn't dictate your future unless you let it. If you keep reliving old failures, you reinforce them. And what you need to do instead is tell yourself a new story. Let yourself know that you are improving every day. We see it all the time. People can change. And sometimes you are made to believe that because of things that you've gone through in the past or situations that you found yourself in, that you're not allowed to change. It can be difficult. It's not easy, especially when you've been living in a certain lifestyle or you've been living a certain way for a long period of time. It is hard to suddenly change that. But I do feel that we need to give each other grace and we need to allow each other to change. Allow yourself, give yourself that permission to change. Give yourself that grace, that space, and that time to make those changes. You need to start telling yourself a new story and let yourself know that you are improving every day. Every day you are getting better. Act as if to create change. Your brain takes cues from your actions. If you start acting like the person you want to become, your mind will catch up. This is so important. You know, people always have that saying, oh, you got to fake it till you make it. I heard another saying, and I wish I could remember where I heard this from, but faith it till you make it. So instead of fake it, faith it till you make it. Having that faith, having that belief, knowing that you are working every day towards the goal that you want to achieve. You are becoming the person that you want to be. You need to act as if, regardless of whether you're in that situation at the moment or not. You need to present yourself as if you are, and your brain will catch up. A lot of us will say, oh, I'm going to change when that happens. You're depending on external things to bring that change, and you can't do that. You have to rely on yourself to create that change, because you can't control things that are going on outside of you. You can only control yourself. So what are you doing to create that change? So for this week, we need to practice acting as if, whether it's speaking more confidently or making decisions like a successful person would. That is what we need to start doing, making sure that we are acting accordingly and we are becoming that person that we want to be. Happiness is a habit. Happiness isn't something you achieve, it's a habit that you build. Dr. Moll suggests focusing on small daily joys instead of waiting for a big breakthrough is the best thing to do. You can find joy from the smallest things. I go on my park walks and I find joy just from being outside, having a moment, walking. It brings me joy. It's about finding gratitude in the smallest things and making sure that happiness is a habit. It's something that you do habitually. It's not always about finding joy in these big achievements, because you find that there's so many people out there that have done such great things, but they still don't feel happy. And sometimes it's about just finding joy in the small things. This week, start a gratitude habit. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for every night. Say them out loud. Just, I'm grateful for these things. Every night, just say thank you and be grateful. I'm telling you, it does make you feel better. Your thoughts create your reality. Your dominant thoughts shape your life. If you constantly focus on problems, you'll find more of them. You sometimes focus on the wrong things instead of focusing on things that are going to get you to where you need to be. You're focusing on things that aren't. And it's really important to have faith, not to doubt. And that's something that you do have to work on. It is a muscle that you do have to build. And the more you check yourself when you do have those types of thoughts, the easier it becomes. So what I've been doing to combat this is every time I have a negative thought, I think about the solution straight away. I don't even let my mind dwell too much on what the problem is. There isn't much point of putting so much energy into it. Instead of thinking about the problem, if I focus my energy into thinking about the solution, and sometimes the solution doesn't come straight away, it does come over time. It could be days, it could be weeks, but eventually you reach the solution because you focused and shifted all your energy into figuring out what the solution is and what the possibilities are. And through that, you could even create other opportunities, other things that you didn't even think about by doing that. So it's so important to focus on the possibilities, focus on the solutions rather than the problems. Because whatever you focus on is what you'll attract. That is something I've definitely learned over the years, that the more you focus on the negative problems, you're just going to end up getting more of them. They always use that example of when you step out of bed and if you stub your toe, you can determine how that affects the rest of your day. If you let that stubbing of the toe get you into a bad mood, oh my gosh, I stubbed my toe, next minute you're in traffic, you're angry at everything, and you just find that it's just a snowball effect of negativity. Whereas if you stumped your toe and just said ouch, and then you looked at it in a different way and said ouch, I stubbed my toe, but I'll be all right, it'll be okay, I'm still gonna have a good day. And then you find that throughout the day things just start happening. You got people opening doors for you, people being polite, just things just start snowballing into a more positive day. And that's where you've got to always be conscious and think. The more positive you think, the more likely you are to get positive results. So the final challenge is spending a few minutes each day focusing on what's going right in your life. Think about that. Instead of thinking about what's going wrong, have a moment to think about what is going right in your life. This also ties in with happiness is a habit. Having that gratitude and being grateful for what is going right is such a game changer as well. So that wraps up our 2-part deep dive into Psycho-Cybernetics. These principles have changed millions of lives, and now it is your turn. Comment below with your favorite takeaway from the 10 takeaways that we've covered in the episodes, and let me know which one applies to you the most, which one you'll be trying, which ones you've tried already, which ones you thought really worked. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video when we are here on Motivational Lee. Yes, people, make sure you stay blessed, have a great week, and I will catch you in the next video. Dunno, boy.